Wait. Yang baik.
But usually, I think most participants are our students. 80%. All students. Good evening, everyone. I'm Chun, and I'm here with my partner, Ms. Ta. We hope you're having a great time with us until now, and we thank you for joining us for the QRU Virtual Public Health Campaign 2021.
Before we start the session, please note that the attendance link will be sent 15 minutes before the session ends. In the previous session, we learned how to make bami web as one of the healthy dishes. But now we are moving on to an online health talk by Mr. Heng Yi Han on the mystery behind metabolism and weight loss. Let us give a warm welcome to Mr. Heng.
Hello, everyone. Hi, good evening, everyone. So, should I start my sharing now?
Yes, please, Mr. Heng. You may proceed.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, thank you, MC. Allow me to introduce myself first. And hold on, let me share my screen. Okay. So, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ian. I'm currently a product nutritionist working in HQ and in a retail chain pharmacy. So before this, I have 3 years of experience working in the pharmacy setting as well. I give a lot of nutrition consultation to the customers, to the patient, to the community levels. So I hope that my experience here can help in giving you a better perspective in weight loss and help you to demystify the mystery behind this topic. Okay, so let's go to the first slide. Okay, in pharmacy setting, right? There's different levels of weight loss programs available. So at the top level, I would like to see it is the usual eat healthily and exercise more kind of message. It is usually done in a national scale where very general and very non-specific message is being given out. It's usually given by the Ministry of Health and also some NGO. But some customer, when they do some studies, right, and they study a little bit on nutrition, we will see that we are all talking about energy balance. Okay, weight loss actually is all about energy balance, where we look at the energy input and the energy output, and then we can see we can adjust our weight based on the energy balance. So it is the method that we can use in the community scale. It is also the method that I use a lot when I do consultation with my customers in the pharmacy. So my topic today will be revolving around energy balance, okay, telling you a lot of different mystery behind energy balance and how we can do it properly. Okay, and then thirdly, we have an even better way to approach weight loss program, which is what I call sustainable weight loss. Okay, this is the ideal dream goal of every weight loss, because we not only want to reduce our weight, right? We also want to have it permanent and sustainable so that we will be free from the yo-yo effect, free from all the rebouncing of the weight loss. Okay, this is not really suitable in our pharmacy setting, okay, because this would require a lot of personal monitor, require personal coach and a specially planned meal plan. Okay, so I will not go deep into sustainable weight loss, but I will go slightly through this to let you know what makes it sustainable in the later part of the sharing. Okay, so before we go into deeper the topic, okay, let's understand the background of this problem. Okay, I got this from National Health and Mobility Survey 2019. I think you have seen this a lot from previous talk. Okay, this one is the current situation of overweight and obesity now in Malaysia. And the number is really scary because 1 in every 2 adults in Malaysia are either overweight or obese. Okay, if I take my friend and myself, right, either one of us would be overweight already. So it is really worrying issues. So we need to really do something, especially in the public health setting, to educate on this problem. Okay, interestingly, we can see the rate of overweight and obese is higher among female, higher among ethnicity, Indian ethnicity, and also in the 55 to 59 years old age group. Okay, so we can see here, overweight and obesity has high association with our gender, with our genetic, and of course, food habits as well. That's what I can see here. Okay, in case you are not sure, you haven't heard of this before, okay, obesity can be categorized by abdominal obesity as well, okay, where we look at our waist circumference. Okay, if you're a man, when your waist is above 90, and if you're a woman, when your waist is above 80, right, you are considered having abdominal obesity. This is what we call the big belly, the spare tire. Okay, if you have a lot of fats in your abdomen area, then you are considered having abdominal obesity as well. Okay, so it is highly linked to visceral fat and also linked to a lot of inflammation problems in the body. Okay, same statistic you can see here, higher among female, higher among Indian ethnicity, and also not surprised, higher in the elderly group. Okay, so down here you can see these are the major diseases associated with overweight and obesity. I believe you are very familiar already because of if you attend to the previous talk, then these are very common. Okay, and I would like to stress that these are all very costly because they will require long-term medication, they will require monitor from doctors, so it can cause a serious problem and serious cost to the economy. All right, so now at the last part here, you can see this is what I meant the first level of weight loss program. Okay, they will ask you to eat healthy, be physically active, don't drink alcohol, stop smoking, and also manage your stress well. So this is a very general kind of message given from the government to the public. All right, so now we have the context already. Okay, so we would like to go into the second level, which will be the major focus of today's sharing. Okay, for your information, okay, based on what I study, weight loss is all about playing around with your energy balance. Okay, if you can master, you can control your energy balance well, then you can control your weight really easily. Okay, so later on, I will share how we can do it healthily and also easily. All right, before doing that, okay, let's see. Okay, the energy balance is defined as this. Basically, what energy in go into your body, when it is different to the energy out from your body, right? Then you achieve something called weight management, where your weight will be maintained. Okay, if you have higher energy input than your energy output, then you will achieve positive balance, which means you are getting weight. And on the contrary, if your energy input is lower than your energy output, then you will lose weight. Okay, that is a very simple concept. So understanding this model allow us to really look into each details and what we can really do behind it. Okay, so maybe we can start with the left-hand side here first, how we can reduce energy input. Okay, first of all, did you know how many calories do we need? Okay, you can see here, based on our RNI 2017, for information, RNI 2017 is our golden standard. It's the golden standard among all nutritionists and dietitians, where we will refer to this one when we give advice on how many nutrients we should take. So I think most of us here are in this age group, 18 to 59. Okay, you can see here we have separated into males and females and different PAL here. So you can see it's roughly 1960 to 2800. This is the energy requirement that we need daily. I'm not saying that you should memorize this, but knowing this definitely help to give you a concept of how many calories you should take every day and how many percentage of the calorie you are taking from the diet that you are taking. Okay, for instance, you go for McD, you take spicy chicken McDeluxe. Okay, that actually give you, that single burger give you about 500 kilocalorie already. And if your intake, your requirement is about 2000, right? It is a quarter of your daily requirement already. Haven't factored in the drinks, the sides that comes with the burger, right? So knowing this number helps you to get the idea. Okay, interestingly, you can see we have different PAL here. Okay, 1.4, 1.6. It actually stands for physical activity levels. So of course, the higher means the more active you are and you would need higher energy. Okay, this is one of the things. Okay, so now we established how many calories we need already. Let's look at how we can reduce energy input. Okay, When we talk about this, the usual go-to, the most straightforward way would be eat less. You eat less, then you will achieve energy input, reduce your energy input. But that is not a really healthy case, okay? Because by just reducing the portion of eating, right, you are also reducing all the nutrients that you are putting into your body. So instead of giving the advice of eating less, I would suggest you, okay, in case you are going to a community later on, suggest the customer or patient to go for nutrient dense food. Okay, this is what we call the healthy eating. Okay, in the afternoon sessions, we have a lot of different sharing on how to make healthy foods, right? This is how you can put a lot of nutrient dense food into your normal diet. Okay, example would be salmon, kales, seaweed, garlic, berries, eggs, etc., and a lot more. These are the one that I would go for whenever customer asks me, what are the best food to eat? What is the most nutritious food to eat? Okay, there is no simple answer to answer that. Okay, but these are usually the one that has higher ratio of nutrients to calorie. Okay, that's why we call it the superfood here. Okay, as opposite to nutrient dense food, we have what we call empty calorie food. These are the soft drink, donuts, cake, ice cream, usually the delicious one. Okay, delicious one, where it only provides you two things. One is calorie, one is pleasure. Okay, so you are getting a lot of empty calories into your body without getting nutrients. So these are the food that you should definitely avoid. Okay, cut down a bit. Okay, other than that, instead of just going for nutrient dense food, you can go for more filling food. Okay, food that is high in fiber, high in protein, high in complex carbs. These are the food that make you feel full for a longer period. And in fact, this is some of the trick being used by all the weight loss products in the market now. They put a lot of fibers, they have some filling nutrients inside which make you feel full, then you will eat less in the long run. Okay, this is how it works. But natural food that has high filling effect would be boiled potato, oatmeals that is require cooking, and then soup, yogurt, vegetable, fruits. You see they are all minimally processed and they have high fiber, high proteins. Okay, when you combine these two, then you are getting something that is really nutritious and it will reduce your energy input by making sure you don't take too much. Okay, when I work in the pharmacy, right, I like to give this example. Okay, this is a Java chip frappuccino. Okay, it is about 480 kilocalorie. So imagine you take one cup of this, you are getting again about quarter of your daily requirement already. And sometimes you can feel full, sometimes it is just your dessert. Okay, you eat your normal meal, on top of that, you also drink one cup of this. So you are getting extra 500 kilocalorie into your body, and that definitely create a positive energy balance, and you are bound to get weight gain. Okay, so try to limit down this one. Don't take so much. Eat it with moderation. Okay, instead, we can go for this Pingan Sehat Malaysia. Okay, it is one of the two being established by our Ministry of Health. Okay, it's called Malaysia Healthy Plate lah. If you have attended to the previous talk, also they have mentioned about this, where we will go for suku separuh. Okay, where you split your plate into 4 parts. One suku you put protein, one suku you put carbohydrates, and then the rest is all fruits and vegetables. So this is one of the way that you can give customers or patients the idea of a balanced diet. And if you are consciously putting nutrient-dense and high-filling food into the plate, right, for sure you will achieve energy reduction. Okay, because you go for nutrient-dense and you're making it very full. Okay, so this is how we can do it in the pharmacy setting. Okay, so these are the way that we can do to reduce energy input. But for some people, eating is everything. Okay, life is meaningless if you don't eat good food, right? So instead of just sacrificing all the good food, eat less and then go for the plain boring things, people can work around on the other side of the energy balance, which is working on reducing the energy balance. That's why we have we have the training, we have the sharing session yesterday on working on exercising. Okay, so we can look now I'm going to share about how we can how to increase our energy output. Okay, before we go into that, our body burn energy in these three ways. Okay, first we use it for our basal metabolic, okay, which is the metabolism that we are going to look into later. It is the energy that we spend to keep us alive, breathing, heart pumping, metabolism, all sorts of things. And then we have thermic effect of food, which is the energy required for us to digest and then to absorb and then to distribute the food. And then lastly, it's all about our physical activity. Okay, so the more active you are, of course, you are spending more energy from the body. Okay, so now this is how we can increase our energy output. Okay, the usual way would be exercising. Okay, this I think a lot of us have covered already. Go for exercise. But whenever I recommend my patient to go for exercise, they will ask, surely, what is the best exercise to lose weight? Okay, I think yesterday Mr. Kenyi also covered this. But all sort of exercise actually help in weight management. But particularly to increase energy output, I would say aerobic exercise is the best exercise for us to really achieve weight loss. Aerobic exercise such as cycling, running, jogging, depending on your age, depending on whether your heart can take it or not. Do something that make you sweat, make you breathe a little bit faster, and also make your heart beat a little bit faster. Okay, those are good exercise that can reduce weight. Other than that, we definitely cannot avoid or ignore strength training, yoga, or stretching, because they all work differently in the weight management program. Okay, and then we can also do something else to increase energy output, not only through exercise. Okay, first we can increase our muscle mass. There's a reason why I mentioned strength training is important, because when you do strength training, such as weightlifting or you do some dumbbell, right? You increase your muscle mass, and higher muscle mass is associated with better metabolism, because your muscle need to burn more fat, need to burn more energy to maintain the shape. So I'm not saying that you should go like a bodybuilder or be like The Rock. You just make sure you have your muscle mass maintained by doing some weight training. Then it will be very good already. In fact, certain personal coach, actually they have your diet plan according to what kind of exercise you are doing on that day. Yeah, there will be require a lot of planning, but generally it means whenever you go for aerobic exercise, then you eat meal that is high in carbohydrates. Whenever the day is your strength training day, you eat food that is high in protein. So you can build your muscle at the same time you can to burn your energy. Okay. Secondly, we need to reduce stress, because study shows that stress is associated with lower metabolism. At first, it might seem not relevant at all, right? But come to think of it, whenever we are stressed, our body go into a mood of preserving energy, okay, which makes us our metabolism to go down. Because our ancestor, whenever they used to hunt animal for food, right? So the meal is not fixed. Whenever they have no food, they will be very stressful. So the body is doing us a good thing, where it reduce our metabolism, reduce our energy spending, so that we can save energy for survival. So currently, it's the same thing happening to us. Whenever we are stressed, we are worried, we are anxious, right? Our body also go like a very slow motion. If you are the kind of people who eat a lot of snacks or eat a lot of sweet things when you are stressed, right? Then you need to be extra careful, because it is a double damage to your weight already. Okay. Next, this one is very popular among pharmacy. Okay, customer like to hear this a lot. My patient like to hear this a lot. You can take some food or supplement that boost metabolism. Okay, there are some products or food that can boost metabolism naturally. Example would be green tea, coffee, chili peppers, MCT, stand for medium chain triglyceride. This, when you take it, right, you will feel that your body is more energetic, and then your heartbeat might be a little bit faster. You will be very sweaty, and then you feel more energetic. generally. So it is a sign where your metabolism is getting higher. So try to eat more of this food that helps to boost your metabolism. And this is another type of food or products that the second type of products that help to do weight loss. First type is the one that give you satiety. Second type is the one that give you this kind of metabolism boosting effect. Okay, so other than that, we have other factors that affect metabolic rate. This is where we are different. Okay, some people you gain weight, even you just drink water. Some people they never get fat because of their gene. So some of the factor you can be looking at is thyroid functions. Okay, hypothyroid links to metabolism changes, sexual hormone, which is your estrogen and your testosterone, which also can affect our metabolism. And then metabolic syndrome. This is where the visceral fat comes in. If you have high this obesity, abdominal obesity, then you are having some sort of metabolism problem as well. And then you can see age. Age is also a factor here. We cannot do anything about that. There's a reason why when you are old, you find it hard to lose weight. Okay, and then lastly, gene factor is something we cannot control. Okay, so this is the way on how we can increase our energy output. Okay, so we have seen this energy balance thing. Okay, the mystery behind weight loss is all about energy balance, I would say. Okay, it's how we can control this energy balance, then we can do our weight loss easily. Okay, so next, I would like to take some time to talk about the sustainable weight loss. Okay, this is the part where it gets interesting. Okay, a lot of us, for sure, at some point have undergone some weight loss program. Okay, whether you are going to graduate, whether you have some important events you need to attend, then you will go into some weight loss planning. But you will find that a few months later, you go back to your previous weight. And then you do something to lose weight and then go back to the previous weight. It seems like our body has a default kind of weight program in the body. So it makes our weight loss not sustainable at all because our body keep going back to the previous weight. And a lot of theories has been proposed. Okay, some go for the hormone, some go for the psychology method, some go for the gene. But one of the major and one of the most popular theory behind sustainable weight loss is the satiety and hunger hormones. Okay, so this is the part where it is related to our psychology and also related to our physiology. Okay, in case you are not aware, okay, we have two hormones here in charge of our hunger reaction, which is leptin and ghrelin. Okay, leptin is what we call the satiety hormone, where it makes us feel full, and then ghrelin is a hormone that makes us feel hungry. Okay, so let's look deeper into these two hormones. Usually they work in pair one. Okay, first, leptin is produced by fat cell and it is secreted into our bloodstream. So whenever it is available in our blood, right, our appetite will be suppressed. There's a time where you will feel full and then your body will increase the energy expenditure. So this is how our metabolism is increased by this leptin. So how it works is it signals the brain that we have enough fat storage already, and then we will stop eating, and then we will reduce our energy intake. Okay, then we stop eating already. So our body function as usual. We do our own activity, and then we will be hungry. Okay, this is under normal circumstances. So ghrelin will be produced, and then we will feel hungry. It is a time where we feel like craving for food. You will like searching for food you want to eat, and then you, at this moment, your body metabolism will be very slow, and your body abilities to burn fat will be very slow. This is very dangerous because ghrelin make our body to become slow. Okay, and I assure you, ghrelin is a very powerful hormone. Okay, you can eat a lot of things without you even knowing. So we cannot fight ghrelin because when it is produced, then we are destined to eat a lot unless you really have high discipline. So under normal circumstances, when they work perfectly, right, everything should be perfect. You will not go fat because you have this to control your satiety, control your appetite, right? But life isn't that easy, lah. Okay, due to modernization, due to the change of lifestyle, right, we start to develop leptin resistance. Okay, leptin resistance means our leptin, even though it is high, but it is no longer useful already. No use. We expect it to work, but it never works. So it is highly related to the modernization. Okay, so let's look at here. Okay, this is what we call the leptin resistance. Okay, under normal circumstances, whenever you gain weight, you have a lot of fat mass, right? So as your number of fat cell increase, our leptin will definitely increase. Okay, and then you develop leptin resistance because due to, again, I mentioned lifestyle changes, our fat store increase, our body inflammation increase, and we have this leptin resistance. So the signal supposed to make us eat less is disrupted. Okay, it's disrupted, and then you continue to eat. Even though you are full already, you have a lot of fats already, you still continue to eat and you never feel full. Okay, and this causes your calorie intake to be high, and then you continue to get fat, and then you will continue to have this, go into this vicious cycle. So you see the problem here. It is very dangerous because you are eating a lot of things without you even knowing. Okay, other than that, this leptin resistance couldn't be worse because our ghrelin also will be affected due to a lot of unhealthy lifestyle nowadays. When we are stressed, when we have not good sleep, our ghrelin also will be affected. This is how both of these hormones become haywire, and then no matter how hard we try, right, we lose weight, we go back to the previous weight. We lose weight, we go back to the previous weight because of this thing. And it makes us to eat without us even knowing. So how can we solve this problem? Okay, we need to know what is the factor causing this problem. Okay, I would like to go to these factors. Okay, knowing the factors then can help us to really solve the problem. The first problem is we have high visceral fat. Okay, you look at previous times, we don't have much problem in the abdominal obesity. The rate is low. Nobody has big belly. But now, because of a lot of visceral fat accumulated in the body, especially in the belly part, right, it linked to inflammation. Okay, and high inflammation leads to leptin resistance. This is why a lot of, even though they are very skinny, but they have a big belly. So these are the kind of people who get leptin resistant, also insulin resistant. Okay, so visceral fat is really something dangerous. So if in case you are doing a lot of exercise, I would suggest you to do something that help to reduce visceral fat. Okay, that's the first factor. Secondly, high intake of unhealthy fat. This is the one we cannot avoid. A lot of fried food, a lot of processed food nowadays, right? We are getting a lot of saturated fat, trans fat into the body. So it causes high triglyceride level in the body. So according to studies, this is linked to leptin resistance as well. So if you go for blood tests, if you see the customer has high triglyceride in the blood profile, usually they will have resistance in leptin. So weight management program would be hard for them because of their leptin not working. You ask them to eat less, they will not eat less one because they will never feel full. The leptin will never function. Okay, so instead of just working on the weight management program, we will usually start with something to do with working on the triglyceride level first. Okay, and then high intake of processed food. This is what modernization causes. A lot of artificial sweeteners like high fructose corn syrup, like MSG, Ajinomoto, a lot of trans fat. All these actually, according to studies, they disrupt the balance between these two hormones. Leptin and ghrelin is highly affected by this kind of artificial thing. So whenever your leptin hormone and the ghrelin hormone is affected, your hunger hormone will not be functioning properly. Okay? And then the lack of exercise. Okay, I think we have stressed this too much time already lah. Exercising. Exercise is not only important to actually reduce our weight by working on increasing our energy output, right? It also help to desensitize, sorry, it also help to sensitize leptin. When you do exercise, your leptin will be more sensitive. If you don't do a lot of things, you only sit in the house, you are very inactive, you don't do a lot of work, right? Your leptin will gradually become very resistant, so that even though you are getting fatter, you will not having the sense of fullness. Okay, so do more exercise on this. And then we have a poor sleeping pattern. Okay, again, it's a lifestyle problem. Nowadays, we always have not regular sleeping pattern, sometimes in 1 a.m., sometimes early, sometimes late. So the idea here is we need to have a regular sleeping pattern. Have you ever wondered, sometimes when you sleep late, okay, and then the next day you wake up, you feel extra hungry. Okay, that's the reason, because your ghrelin is higher when you don't have a good sleep. So that the next morning you wake up, while you are very hungry, you want to eat a lot of things. And sometimes if you don't sleep early, in the midnight you wake up, you crave for supper. Okay, this is how you get a lot of extra calorie into your body. Especially nowadays, we have all the food delivery system very convenient, right? So food is getting easier to obtain. Okay, and then lastly, chronic stress. Okay, everyone here I think has stress. We cannot go away from stress. So instead of just running away, I would suggest us to do something to relax ourselves. Because stress again is linked to metabolism going down, and this is why, because it senses that our body is in danger. So we need to preserve energy, need to get more energy. The body will produce ghrelin for us to crave food. Okay, so that you get more energy lah. Okay, so these are the 6 factors that cause the imbalance of hunger hormones. These are the factors that makes your weight loss program never be easy. Okay, you do a lot of exercise, you eat less, you eat healthily, but eventually your weight go back to the previous set point. This is why. So coming to the last part of my training, of my sharing, I would like to share some way, okay, for us to biohack our hunger hormones. Okay, this is some take-home message for you all. I find it very practical. I always recommend this to my patients, to my customers, so that they can work on the hunger hormones. First one, add more protein in the meals, especially in the breakfast. Okay, I like to eat eggs in my breakfast because eggs is high in protein, and it gives a lot of feeling of fullness. Okay, according to studies, the composition of your breakfast actually affect your meal choice in the subsequent meal. Okay, if you have high protein, if you have food that is high in fiber and protein, right? Whenever you go for your lunch or dinner, you will be more health conscious. You will go for food that is healthier, less in calorie, which is better for your body. So add more protein in the breakfast. Other than that, protein also gives us a feeling of satiety because it is harder to digest. So it takes longer time for us to digest the food, so it stays longer in the body. Okay, when it stays longer in the body, your ghrelin will be much easy to maintain. Okay, secondly, this is what you can do throughout the days. Eat high fiber food. Okay, if you follow the suku separuh, then by right, every meal of yours should contain 50% of foods of fiber food already. How it helps it is, it makes us feel full for a longer period. Okay, for information, ghrelin is being produced every 4 hours. So if you have food inside your stomach or in your digestive tract, then ghrelin will be much better controlled because you have something to fulfill the ghrelin. All right, so make sure you eat a lot of high fiber food throughout the day. Okay, third, we have to cut down on MSG. As I said just now, MSG reduce our leptin resistance. Okay, food that has high MSG, although they taste very good, in fact, they give the feeling, the taste of umami. Okay, and that's the purpose of MSG, because they want us to eat more. Okay, you feel that the food is really nice, then you will come back to eat it again, right? So MSG, we cannot avoid from it already. If you eat outside, it is always there. So what my point here is, you would be more conscious and making an informed decision whenever you go for food that has high MSG. Okay, cut down MSG if you can. If you cannot, just know that it is causing you not feeling full. Okay. Fourth one would be cut down on the artificial sweeteners, okay, especially high fructose corn syrup. Okay, this is one of the sweetener very commonly seen in our industrial products. Okay, corn syrup, some snacks, some sweets, and then some drinks, some beverage. You can find this in it. So these, according to studies, they reduce the production of insulin and also reduce the production of leptin. Okay, whenever you take a lot of these, right, you will feel that you will never be full. Again, leptin is not working. So cut down on this one definitely will help on balancing back your hormone. Okay, the fifth one would be lifestyle modification. Okay, this one I think very boring already lah. Okay, every time we go talk about weight management, we go for lifestyle modification. But my point here is, whenever you tell your patient or the customers the reason behind this, right, they tend to do it more willingly. Okay, because they know why I need to sleep early, why I need to de-stress myself, because it can affect the hunger hormones. So you will be more conscious about it lah. So in terms of stress management, go for something that release your stress, such as exercising, listening to music, do some meditation, do some yoga, definitely help. And then sleeping habit, you will need to maintain a regular sleeping time lah. Okay, if you sleep very late, try to sleep 1 hour earlier. Okay, don't need to be too much, just 1 hour early, and then you wake up 1 hour earlier. Okay, this can significantly change your lifestyle. Okay, lastly, avoid low calorie diet lah, because a lot of us want to go for weight loss program, and then we will look online, and then we can see a lot of different menus, right? Make sure you are not taking the diet that give you too low of calorie. Okay, okay, I forgot to mention, for our calorie intake, right? We need around 1,800 to 2,000. So what is the ideal reduction in calorie? Okay, I would say a safe number would be 500 lah. Okay, 500. Please don't make it too low. Okay, like people go for 1,000 kilocalorie diet, 800 kilocalorie diet. That is very dangerous. And you can see here, because low calorie diet makes our ghrelin to be very, very high. Okay, you might be losing weight lah for sure because you eat less. Okay, but once you resume your normal eating, then you will experience what is drink water also gain weight lah. Okay, you will become fat even you drink water because your metabolism is so low already. Whatever food you take in will not be metabolized. It will be turned straight into fats, and then you will gain weight immediately. That is what we call yo-yo effect. Okay, so instead of low calorie diet, go for other diets. A lot of diets you can see online. Mediterranean diet, paleo diet, keto diet, low calorie diet, low fat diet. Okay, a lot of diets we can choose, but try to avoid low calorie diets. Okay, so this is 6 ways that I can suggest you, okay, to really biohack the hunger hormones so that your weight loss program can be better. Okay, definitely useful, this one. Okay, so to summarize my sharing today, okay, I would like to stress again, weight management is all about energy balance. Okay, the topic today is the mystery behind weight loss, right? I would like to tell you that the mystery behind weight loss is energy balance. Okay, people talk about detox, people go for a lot of products, right? But as long as you can master, you can control your energy balance well, then you can achieve weight loss very easily. Okay, and then we talk about some healthy ways to reduce energy input, which is go for nutrient-dense food, go for filling food, and then we have the suku separuh, where we can follow to achieve a balanced diet. And then we have talked about multiple ways to increase energy output as well, which is we can do exercise, we can increase our muscle mass, we can de-stress ourselves and also take products. Okay, I believe Miss Tan yesterday have talked a lot about the products on how we can lose weight loss. So you can go back to the training sharing there. And lastly, we talk about sustainable weight loss. Okay, sustainable weight loss is actually achievable, okay, by working on the hunger hormone. So I've talked about a few of the factors that is causing the imbalance of hormonal hunger hormone, and then we talk about what are the ways that we can do to really get ourselves out of the vicious cycle of the hormone imbalance. Okay, so that's the end of my sharing. I would like to end my sharing here today with this quote. I like to tell this to my customer. Weight management is never a race, but it is just a journey. So we don't want to look at the final number on the weighing balance. We want to know the process between it, and then we know the right concept, so that the earlier we know the concept, the more benefit we can get in the long run. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I pass my time back to the MC.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ho. That was an amazing session. It was so informative. Now, I think it's time that we open the floor to the audience for any questions they have. Now, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to comment down the questions in the chat box or in the comment section, depending on where you are right now. And I will be monitoring the questions and relaying it to Mr. Hung. Mr. Hung, there's a question from the floor. Is there any way to reduce inflammation in your body? Can we take leptin to compensate for lack of it in our body?
Okay, so the first part of the question is there any way to reduce inflammation? The easy way to reduce inflammation would be reduce the visceral fat in our body. Okay, whenever we have high visceral fat, and it is actually an organ that increase our body inflammation. So working on the visceral fat would be the first easy thing to do. And then in the pharmacy, we have a lot of different products which is designed to reduce inflammation. Example would be the omega-3, the turmeric, very well known for the anti-inflammatory effects. And then we have a lot of other vitamins which also help to reduce inflammation, such as magnesium, some selenium, some mineral. Okay, and other than that, inflammation is caused by high sugar intake. So try to cut down on the sugar intake, and then definitely your body inflammation will be reduced. Okay, second part is the leptin, right? So far I have not seen any products with leptin, because hormone supplement is really dangerous. Okay, it is not available in the market. So we have not found a way to get leptin into the body yet. And even if we do, right, it's all about leptin resistance. Because when we are fat, we have a lot of fat cell in the body. We do have leptin, just that the leptin is not functioning well. So we should work on the leptin resistance instead of the leptin level itself. All right, I hope these answer the questions.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hung. Now there's another question coming from YouTube. Give us a moment. Okay, Mr. Hung, this is from YouTube. Can a person who is genetically skinny be able to gain weight?
Okay. If a person is genetically skinny, for sure, it is hard for the person to gain weight, because the metabolism in that person would be higher than the rest. Okay, so but I'm not saying that it's impossible, because as long as you get the right meal plan, you get the right portion of food, especially the protein, right, you should gain weight you should still gain weight, but it is very hard to maintain. Okay, so I personally have customers who is in this situation. We give a lot of planning for them, increase protein intake, increase their calorie intake. We even plan an exercise of weight gain training for them. It works. Okay, for the first 3 months, if they follow strictly, right, they will definitely gain weight one. And then the result is really satisfying. From a very skinny person can become a very muscular person. But the hard part is to maintain that weight gain because the gene is inside, right? If he don't do anything, the body metabolism will high, and then eventually it will achieve negative energy balance, right? And then eventually it will go back to the previous weight. So that's why I say weight management is never a race. So we need to make it a journey. So it's the thing that we do consistently counts. So to answer that questions, I would say gene doesn't play, gene plays a factor, but it's not in temporary, it's in the long run. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hung. There's another question from the chat box. Is it true that eating past 8 p.m. is likely to cause one to gain weight? In other words, don't eat supper or have my dinner late.
Okay. In terms of this, right, in fact, for nutrition part, there's no saying that there's no proof that your eating time can affect our ability to gain weight because certain people have different lifestyle. Maybe you work in the night or maybe you have a different sleeping pattern. So the time itself is not important, but the timing of your eating is the one that cause problem. If after you eat, right, you don't have proper time for it to digest properly, you don't give it time to properly absorb, right, it will not be properly processed, and then it tend to links to higher chance of it being processed as fat storage. So generally, okay, try not to eat too near before your sleeping time, because we will need some time for our guts to work to really process the food, so that before we go to sleep they can finish process the whole thing. So the suggested time would be at least 4 hours before your sleeping time. Okay, if you sleep at 12, then you don't eat after 8 lah. Okay, that is the best healthier way. But if you sleep late, then definitely if you eat at 9, 10, also no problem. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Hung. There's another question again. This is from YouTube as well. Does being overweight affect the metabolism rate of a person?
Okay. Yeah, the answer to that is definitely, because overweight person tend to have this leptin resistant, as I mentioned. Okay, we can see here. Okay, when you are overweight, right, supposedly the higher fat cell in the body is producing a lot of leptin. But at the same time, because of the higher fat stores and then the overweight problems, our general body inflammation also is higher. Then we develop leptin resistance and it will help us to gain more weight. So it is a vicious cycle, as I mentioned. So for overweight person, instead of just going blindly to the weight loss program, I would suggest you to look into your leptin resistant problem first. Okay, do something that get yourself out from this kind of leptin resistant problem, then you can go on your weight losing plan. That will be better. So overweight, obesity person actually need harder effort to kickstart your weight loss journey. Okay.
Okay, Mr. Hung, thank you so much. There's one more question in the chat box. Do carbohydrate foods cause people to gain weight? How many carbs should a person consume in a day? Thanks.
Okay. So high carbohydrate food, actually when it is turned into sugar, right, it's all energy. Okay. So if you take high carbs food and the amount of you take in is very high, of course it will link to higher energy intake. Okay. Sorry, can I get the later part of the questions?
Yes. How many carbs should a person consume in a day, Mr. Hung?
Okay. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, carbs should contribute to around 30%, sorry, 50% of our daily requirement, daily energy requirement. So when you convert it, it is about, it is hard to get the exact amount, but I should get it. Hold on. You can get it, you need to calculate the amount of your daily requirement, okay, energy. Let's say you need around 2000 kilocalorie, right? So 50% would be around 1000. I need to do some calculation here. Yeah, okay. We don't fix the amount of carbohydrate, but as long as the carbohydrate that you take in every day contribute to about 50% of your daily energy requirement, then that would be sufficient. Okay, so the exact figure, I will need to check it out, but just to give you the rough idea, where we need about 50% of our daily meal. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hung. Now, there's one more really interesting question in the chat box. Now, can you please comment on the meal replacement diet?
Okay, meal replacement diet. All right. So I work in a pharmacy setting, and I have a lot of meal replacement products in the market. Okay, the well-known, the one that you can see a lot in the TV. Okay, meal replacement is something interesting, but we don't recommend you to take it for long term. Okay, usually meal replacement is being used for people who maybe have problem eating. Okay, maybe those who just go for some surgery where their digestive tract is affected. So you will need to do some meal replacement, okay, to get food, get nutrients more easily. But still, meal replacement is not the perfect things to consume because our body still need to get some solid food in order to work nicely. Okay, so I would say meal replacement should not be used permanently. It should be used just like temporary, or you can use it to replace one of your meal. Okay, for some of my customers, they actually prefer to take it in the dinner. Okay, because nighttime they don't want to take so much of energy. They don't want to take so many other things, so they can go for meal replacement in the dinner time. Okay, I don't recommend to go for fully meal replacement dinner that is really unhealthy because we cannot be sure that we are getting all of the nutrients that we require, especially fibers. Fibers, because there are of course certain things that meal replacement cannot give you, which is fiber specifically. So that's my comment on that. That's my take on that. I will not recommend my patient or customer to go for full meal replacement diet. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hung. I think that's all the time we have for today, and it's time to close up this Q&A session. Thank you so much for being with us here, Mr. Hung.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for the chance being given to me to give a sharing to here to everyone.
Right, now, let's pass it back to Ms. Tang. I believe she has some announcement to make, something interesting. Ms. Tang, back to you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chan. We have sent a link in the chat box or the comment section for you to test out your knowledge on the event. So please note that prizes will be given to the top 2 scorers. And once again, we'd like to remind everyone to participate in the Daily Walk Challenge. Make sure to subscribe and follow our page in Instagram and Facebook with the username phc2021_QRU. Also, do not forget to check out our merchandise. There are many goodies that will definitely catch your attention. As we can see here, we have tote bags, t-shirts, button badge, notebooks, and vacuum flasks. Your support is deeply appreciated.
Now, a big thank you once again to Mr. Hung in elucidating the mystery behind metabolism and weight loss. The talk is informative and educational in many ways, and I hope everyone learned quite a lot today. On that note, I think it's time to wrap up day 3 of our campaign. We're so grateful for all your support, especially to those of you who have been tuning in since afternoon. Your attendance is deeply appreciated.
And also a reminder to all participants, please fill out the Google Form link for your attendance to claim your CCA hours and CPD points. And not to forget, 2 lucky draws entries will be awarded to all participants for our closing ceremony, so make sure you fill out the form, all right? Lastly, a big thank you to HTM Pharmacy for sponsoring this event.
Now, before you take your leave, please be noted that tomorrow is the last day of our campaign. We will have another session at 1 p.m. on healthy eating experience, followed by an online health talk at 2 p.m. before we officially close the event at 4 p.m.
Do join us if you are free. Your attendance are greatly appreciated. You may take your leave now. Thank you very much.